I have a treat for everybody today. Doing front wheel bearings. These are press-ins. So if you have one of these vehicles, you're prepared to do some work. Take off these 19mm lug nuts. You're gonna need a lot of tools. If you don't have air tools or something like that, and you live in a state where we actually get weather, I don't know. Quote is $6.50 per side. So I guess, I don't know, depending on what shop you go to and what they charge. Okay, there we go. This may or may not be something you're gonna tackle. You're gonna need a hub tamer or a hub removal or a press. Press is always nice to have. Everything on this is going to be rusted. Everything. I already did the other side, or I'm halfway through the other side. I'm having a problem with. So if you order stuff, make sure it comes with snap rings, because again, if you got an older car like this and it's in such bad shape like this one is, you're definitely going to need new snap rings, which I know you shouldn't reuse them anyways, but everybody does. I don't like to, but I just thought the kit that I bought came with it, so I'm not even going to put it in the description, because it didn't come with it. So we're going to take off this whole assembly, which is 18mm. Now, right off the bat, well, first off, I'm just going to spray everything down. You're going to need to be back here, so we're going to spray that down. Tie rod's going to have to come off, so spray that down, get that ready. All right, first off, I'm going to come using an 8mm. Ugh. And if you think you're done there, you are mistaken. Because even this is rusted on there, so we got to just take like a hammer and chisel, whatever you got, knock that loose. Perfect. This allows us to put it a lot higher up on the strut. Yeah, see, it allows me to hang it up a lot higher, because you're going to want as much room as you can possibly get. $15mm. Now, see how I removed that fully? That's a little tip. Now put it back on. You want to remove it fully while it's stuck in this knuckle, and I just see that this is bad now. But yeah, you want to make sure, since it's stuck inside this knuckle, there we go. Now, when we hit it, if you do that while it's still in there, you're gonna need something to pry up on this outer tie rod there to get this out. So that sucks. So now we got this free. Doesn't matter which step you do, but we're gonna need to remove that. This is a T25 Torx bit, so that's got to come off. That's usually not your problem. The sensor being stuck in there is usually the problem. And that's another obstacle to challenge. So when it gets in this situation, I'll try to pry it up, but just buy yourself a new sensor. They're only a couple dollars. I think they're only selling for like $17, $18. So, but this one might be completely rusted in there. So this is something you're going to have to anticipate with your job. You know what, we'll worry about it more later, I guess, because that one's seized in there too. 32 millimeter. There, just want to get that front axle free, so when you take it all off, it's fine. However you can get your rotor off, again, good luck. Put a block of wood back here. So essentially just knocking all the rust loose. These front rotors are shot too. But essentially we just started. And that's what we accumulated. So yeah, we're not even halfway done yet. So come back here on the back of the strut, you're gonna see there's this bolt right here. So what we're gonna have to do is try to work it out. Now we don't want to use air tools for this. We don't want to use air tools for this. It's a 15 millimeter. Essentially what we're going to want to do is we're going to try to rotate it left, which it's not spinning at all. So we don't want to force it. We do not want to force it. So what we're going to do is just cook it. This part right here, this is an 18 millimeter nut. So that's really easy to get off if it's rusted out. The hard part's going to be getting this bolt out. So what I want to do is, I'm just going to give it a couple taps. Which is not budging it. So now, same thing as before, we're going to hit with some fire. I'm spraying it down again, and now I'm going to pound it back into the hole. See what a little bit of fire can do? It just helps out greatly. Done. It will be hot, but there you have it. That's what that bolt looks like. Now before we take this down, we're going to need to get that stud out of the bottom part of this knuckle. And let me tell you, that's tough. Lots of fire doesn't hurt. Just be careful of that rubber boot, so kind of aim it towards the hub. I have myself an 8-pound hammer. There we go, it's out. Now I gotta remove the axle. I just took a punch with the hammer and trying to just swing this out best I can, like so. Get that up and out of the way. All right, so that's all perfect. Now, I don't know, it doesn't really matter how you do this, I guess. I just want the axle out of the way, and I'm gonna slide this lower ball joint back into the knuckle. But yeah, in theory, you could just do this without it, but you're also going to need a slide hammer. If you don't have a press, this is just the easiest way. Because like I said, I like having the axle out of the way, so I can spin this and it's easier, just easier to work with. Is it necessary? I don't know, because this is just how I always done it. So you do your own thing, be your own person, right? I'm the guy who gets yelled at for using a pipe wrench on the tie rods. Every time I get a stupid email or a comment, but it worked. Pipe wrench works every single time. All right, so now you take this and just screw it in like so. Now you always have this bearing race up here. That's why I just highly recommend just buy the hub and the wheel bearing. Cost you like 10 bucks more, but save you a headache of trying to get this off. Work smarter, not harder. All right, so now that that's out, now our next trick is to get this knuckle off the strut. Now I would do this on the vehicle. That would be the quickest way. Usually you don't even have to take these off. But I already know for a fact, just from doing the other side of this snap ring is going to be stuck in there. And we also still have to get out that, right there's that sensor. We're going to try not to damage it. We'll do the best we can. But that is what it is. Try to wiggle it back and forth. Oh, I think we might have just got lucky. Didn't think that was going to budge. I'm not sure what was seen and what wasn't, just because the camera overheated, but I did get it out. Shockingly enough, this actually came out. I got 2 more coming tomorrow, so I'm not really going to, not going to reuse this. But just so you guys know, for this 2013, I had to actually order it from Ford. I checked Napa, Advanced, you name the rest of them. None of them carry this. This is a special order item. I kind of reached out to my people who sold me the bearings and stuff like that, because usually it comes with the snap ring, but they do not come with this snap ring. So this whole kit that it came in didn't come with this, like I probably said earlier, which is crazy annoying. So here we go. The bearing comes out of the front, like so. This is all going to come out. So here's how we're going to do this. All right, to get this pushed out, let me see what will be a good fit. Which end? All right, to put this bearing out, I'm gonna use it's an M adapter. It's gonna go here. And then my cup is U, and this flat part is H, if you have this tool. If you don't have air tools or whatnot, I don't know, you could take it to a shop and they can press it out for you. I really would not want to try this by hand. I mean, in theory you could, but I don't know. They'll just use a press, or if you know somebody who has one, go that route, because I'm telling you, this is, if you don't have this stuff, it's not going to be fun for you. So this little connecting rod right here, or it's a little, I call it my pusher. That's a 27 millimeter. And this top part right here is 24. So I'm just going to tighten it up. There you have it, that's a troublemaker. This is the outer edge that you need to push on, and that's what gets stuck. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to clean this groove out, especially because this is where the snap ring goes, and I want to clean this out, make sure it's as smooth as possible. You don't want any debris right here. All right, we got this FVP H8000053, not a sponsor. Got everything all cleaned out. Here's your bearing. Now you gotta be smart about this one. So this is the back. This is the back of the knuckle. You want this magnetic ring to be facing backwards. Kind of set it in there. Okay, like so. It's in there nice and even. And now we're gonna just really reverse the steps. So now on this one, I want to press against this back section. So use an O, which fits. That's perfect size. And then I'm going to do the same top, but I'm just going to put it through the opposite way. So what would be the easiest way to do this? You don't want to bump that. I don't want to move that bearing at all because it's actually going in straight currently. So there's really no good way to set this thing down since it has that backing plate on there, but and again, it doesn't hurt to wipe down this bearing either. Just like I said, you don't want any kind of rust or debris in there. Yeah, you want to make sure it's nice and flush up against this inner ring, which it is. And get this all cleaned out. But yes, that's that rubber ring, but there you go. That's how you put it in. And I'll get back to you tomorrow when all the rest of the parts come in. Got the snap ring in. Unfortunately, I ordered 2. They only ordered 1. That's great. Anyways, when you put it in, just be mindful. That's for your speed sensor, so you got to make sure that the snap ring opening is up here so you could put the speed sensor in. I'm going to take the L fitting, kind of put it like this, so I press on this, send it through very gently, and now we got to find a fitting that fits on this inner race right here, because you don't want to damage the snap ring on the outside. So I'm going to use P. I'm going to set that right there, which is, yeah, it's started. I'm going to check. Okay, I'm still lined up on the back. Look at the back, everything's in there. It's nice and flush. So, side's all done. Now I'm gonna do the other side and we get back to putting it back together. Yeah, get ready to start juggling because you gotta lower this. Ugh. So I'm using my knee to lower the lower control arm. There we go. Now, gotta get the lower ball joint in. All the way in. I'm gonna rotate the strut back around to where it belongs, which is in this position right here. Yep, that lines up with the fin. This one right here is a 15mm head with an 18mm nut. And if you didn't break your old sensor, put that back, but since we did, we're gonna put this right in there. Not a lot of room. And put that torque screw back. Then you do your axle nut. And then you do your 15mm outer tie rod, and then you put your brakes and rotors back on. That's it.